Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to CBA TV here in Hargeisa. My name is Balogun Arishekola Aziz. I welcome you to your regular show, Talk to CBA. This is a program where we bring different caliber of people to discuss on different issues. On this episode, my guest today is Madam Oluwafunmi Omisope. She is the Executive Director of Home and Street Kids Welfare Initiative. And she also happened to be the proprietress of the HSKi Academy, which we also known as TOSA, all the way from Nigeria. And on this episode today, we'll be discussing extensively on the importance of educating a girl child. Also, we'll be talking about street kids. Welcome to the program. Welcome, Mafumi, to Talk to CBA. And on a very straight note, I just said little things I know about you. I would appreciate if you can tell our viewers at home who is Oluwafunmi Omisope.
Yeah, my name is Funmi Omisope. I'm the Executive Director of Home and Street Kids Welfare Initiative and also the Proprietress of the Oasis Academy, TOSA, a reception school where we take care of street children, clean them up for 3 months before we put them in regular school. I'm also the president of Rebuilders Network, which groom young ones that are interested in community work and humanity work to really take up the task without being bothered with where to get the money. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you, Mafumi. Let's go straight to the questions now. Girl child are very, very important in the world. Like, they are very fragile. I want you to tell us, do you really think female child are getting the same kind of education that their male counterparts are getting, or there is any difference? If there is, what did you think is the cause of this? I mean, of what importance do you think educating girl child is in our country?
Yeah, when it comes to girl's child, like I have my own bite of the whole issue. 2 years ago, I have a 14-year-old girl among our children at the organization that got married, all because our mom wanted her to get married. So when it comes to girl child, I think the challenge is mostly about the adults in their lives. Maybe their parents that really want them to go, get married because of their own selfishness, because of what they're going to get from the guys. So when it comes to girl child getting married early, the parent has a whole lot to do in it. And secondly, our society, there are some courses in the university, like say engineering. You see the percentage of guys to ladies in the class is always very, very different. So the ratio is not yet balanced. The ratio is getting better, but it's not yet balanced as it should be.
That's fantastic. That will still lead me to the other question, which is just very relevant to this one. We all understand what is happening about gender violence issues, especially to a girl child or a female generally, in the light of rape, the light of early marriage and what have you. What is your take on this issue? Of what perspective, you are also a lady, of what perspective do you see these issues?
Yeah, it's been a very, very terrible thing in our society. You see people that prefer love to themselves, and 3 months down the line in the marriage, they're already beating each other even to death. What I would say on that is, if there can be a committee that will be headed by women, reasonable and notable women in the society, heading such committee that handle such cases. Because men can't handle the cases that has to do with gender violence. They don't know what we go through. So if there can be a committee that is going to be headed by women, and there should be like an hotline, a number any abused women can easily call, and they will come to the head of such people. I think it would be a great idea.
Thank you. I really appreciate you, as you talk extensively, about that. And now, having said that, what are the possible solutions? I mean, what are the possible way outs that you feel if government or individual put in place, it can help to eradicate this menace within female gender?
Okay, like I mentioned before, I said if there can be a committee and a lifeline, and also if our girls can be taught well. They need to know their rights. They need to know nobody owns them, not even an uncle or a father. Because I was told last week of a father that impregnated his daughter in this Kwara state, Ilorin. So they need to know that their body belongs to them and not to anybody. So when they know their rights, they are knowledgeable about sex education, I think it's going to go a whole long way in our community, in our society.
Thank you very much. Now let's strictly go into your NGO, which is yes, your NGO, which is Home Street Kids Welfare Initiative. This is put together, you know, in turning coughing ants to a creative mind. What prompts you to start this foundation?
Okay, HSKi is an NGO I started when I was in year 1 in the university. Growing up, when I was 8 years old, you know, I happen to be from family of 6. I'm number 5, and I have a younger sister. So at that particular point in time, she fell and she had a dislocation in her hand. So people were coming to greet my mom and all that at home. So one fateful day, one of my mom's friends came to greet her, and my younger sister was on the mat at the balcony. So I was there with her. The mommy went inside the house and called me in to bring something for her friend. So when I got to the friend, I can't remember what mommy said I should give her, maybe matches or salt. So I stretched my hand to her, but she looked at me disgustingly. And I felt, I didn't know what I did wrong, but I knew something was wrong. And she said a word in Yoruba. She said, Oburewa merindilogun. I didn't know the meaning of it, but I knew that wasn't cool. So I gave her what mommy said I should give her, and she left. So after everything, I went back to meet mommy. And I said, what is the meaning of Oburewa? Mommy said, someone that is ugly. I said, then what is the meaning of marrying the logo? Mommy said 16. Meaning she called me 16 ugly girls supposed to get put together. That's a monster. Instead of me to tell mommy, this is what your friend called me, I took it as my identity. I used to sit in front. Like, I love sitting at the front. I became bench bencher. I started mingling with the, you know, olodos in the class. I finished secondary school in 1999. I passed only Yoruba. C5 in Yoruba. Like, I failed well. Like, when I wrote GC and I went for my results, they told me English language G7, one other subject E8, and the woman kept quiet. I said, what about the remaining? She said F9. Like, I was so identified with failure, and I felt maybe because my name is Funmi, maybe that is why they kept on giving me the F in front of the alphabet. But then, after 11 years of being a prisoner of what she said to me, one day I was in my dad's room and I was dressing up. So I looked at myself in the mirror. And I asked myself, if this person should come to your class, will you like her to be your friend? I said, why not? I said, then Funmi, you are beautiful. So I told Daddy, I want to re-enroll, but don't take me into SS3. I want to go to SS2. So he agreed. So he got me enrolled in SS2. Then I told myself, these people don't know my story. It's what I told them that I am. So I got to the school with my shoulders square and my head straight. And within 3 months, I became the senior girl of the school. And that is how I got myself back. So getting to the University of Ibadan, and, you know, seeing the street children on the streets and the way they are being treated. There was one I saw, the father was looking at her. And I said, what happened to her? I was told she was begging a man for money, and the man grabbed her hand and twisted it to the level that she had dislocation. And you see the parents under the shed, and the children will be the one begging on the street. How can a 3-year-old be the breadwinner of the family? So I felt my friend's mom, just with one word, kept me in my shadow for 11 years. How much more those ones that their parents are their own slave masters? That was what moved me towards them. That was the major reason why I started this.
Wow, that is head touching. You know, it's very serious. And, you know, for anyone to think of, you know, what make you to start this, it's something, you know, very fantastic. Now, you see, having said all that, I would appreciate if you can share with my viewers at home, what are the achievements, I mean, the achievement so far since the inception of this NGO? What are the things you can say, yes, these are stuffs that we have been able to achieve since you start this movement?
Okay, September 9th this year makes me 15 years that I've been doing this, and it's been amazing. I've worked with 4 different nations: Niger Republic, immigrants begging in Nigeria, Chadians, Malians, then definitely Nigerians. You know, I work mostly among street children, the Alumanjiris, you know, children that beg on the street. Those are the ones that I'm so passionate about. And we have over 500 children that have passed through our program, both present and in the past. And we have those that are foreigners have been relocated back into their country. And presently we have 70 of them that are enrolled in school, you know, all over Kwara State and Federal Capital, Abuja. And this is my joy, seeing the transformation in the lives of these children.
That is, you know, fantastic. It's a journey so far. If you're hearing the word journey so far, it's a very long journey, you know. Now I would like you to let us talk about a particular project of this foundation, which is HSKi Academy, which we also known as TOSA. You know, is an educational reception and development center which your NGO put together. Why did you think you need to do this? You know, having getting these kids on the street, and you still don't stop there. You believe you need to move further by setting up a whole educational system for them. Can you tell us the story behind this? Why HSKi Academy?
Okay, actually, when I came to Ilorin in 2014, the plan was to enroll the children straight off in schools. So I saw a proprietor that told me, okay, Fumi, bring your children. I would like to put them in my school. I told the man, I said, the children are 8, but I will keep taking them from the street. He said, there's no problem. Then I got to his school. Then all of them, like 80% of them were Nigerians and 20% were Nigerians. So I showed him the picture of the children, and he saw their picture. He saw that they have coily hairs, and he started shaking his head in disagreement with his wife. So I looked at them, that what happened. Then he now said, are these the Niger children? I said, they are. He said he can't take them in his school. I said, what happened? He said if other parents should see them in his school, they won't bring their own children to enroll in his school. And that moment, I knew that if I should put my children in this man's school, if a proprietor and proprietress are talking this way, imagine what the kind of humiliation they will go through with the teachers and the students. So I kept quiet, and the man said, anything you need, just ask me. I'm ready to do for you. Then I told him, I said, where can I get chalkboard? We are starting the school today. And that was how TOSA started. Now, TOSA is just for 3 months. It's to clean the children up. You know, children from normal home, when they are going to school, you tell them, don't collect bobo from your friend, don't collect biscuit. How much more the one that is a professional beggar? That is, you know, his or her pregnancy was used to beg. Like begging is a skill, you must learn it. Now going to school, that one will beg for anything, take what does not belong to him. So we need to make them unlearn all the things they've learned on the street. They go for excursion twice within those 3 months. Then we clean them up. We try to, you know, expand the way they see themselves and their horizon. When we first did the, what's it called for them, we asked them, what do you want to become when you grow up? They said they want to be coppers. But the moment we start taking them out, one came back and said he wants to be an aeroplane. We had to correct him, it's pilot you can be. You can't be the aeroplane. You understand? So it expands their mind. And every school we enroll our children, because after 3 months, we put them up in regular schools. All the teachers always attest to it, that they are different from the children they just pick and enroll, because they've gone through TOSA, which is the 3-month period. We've had 500 children, both present and past. And when it comes to lives we've touched generally, I would say over 10,000. Because we have a program we call Street Love, of which we feed children that are begging on the street. You know, this is one of our ways to gain trust and be able to enroll them in school, because they don't just warm up to you immediately. You understand? So we have different programs aside education. And that is why I can't say, I can't say specifically. You understand? So when it comes to that, thousands that have gone through, that have benefited one way or the other from what we do.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome, and I really appreciate what you're doing, and I believe my viewers at home also will do same. Let's quickly go into, like, I want to believe in a project like this, there will always be up and downs. Like, I mean, what are your challenges? I mean, going through all this, I believe there will be one or two challenges that you might have faced in the process. And in the same way, I would like you to share with us what are your plans to extend this good work that you're doing.
Okay, the first challenge is language barrier. They are mostly Hausas. Even the ones from Chad, from Niger, from Mali, they speak Hausa. I don't speak Hausa. I can only, maybe just the one that can, to buy suya, and this language barrier is there. But there's another language that is universal, which is language of love, and that is what I speak to them. So I believe when the heart is connected, they will be the one that teach us, that teach you their language. So with that, over time, the language barrier start collapsing, and then over time we start having people on board on our team that speaks Hausa, so which makes it very easy for us. Then the second challenge is mentality. The second challenge is mentality. The way they think, the way they see things. There's a mother that has 13 children, and she had lost 5 of the children. I helped to take the delivery of number 12. So I had to tell her, family planning is the key. If you want to live long to witness these children becoming somebody in life, then you have to stay alive. I know their religion doesn't take it, their culture doesn't take it, but we have to look at the real thing. And, she told me, Mafumi, carry me, let's go do this thing. I said, I can't just carry you, Baba must give his own consent. And I told Baba said, if it is you for me, I know you don't mean harm. Then we went ahead and did 5 years for her. Then another one, I know finances, is expected for me to say, okay, finances is part of it. Finances is part of it, but God has really been faithful. We've never been stranded for once. We have partners that sponsor what we do, and these partners are just average income earners. They are not the wealthy in the community. But when they see us saying, okay, we have this need, you see them rushing to meet it. So we have corporations, we have individuals, then grants.
Wow, that is very good, and I pray that God in infinite mercy will always support everyone that is doing good, just like what you are doing. Now let's quickly go, like we dissect a little bit. COVID-19 is still here with us. We don't know it's coming, and nobody can say this is when COVID-19 is going to stop. And I want you to let us look into this critically. When this issue arises, part of a measure put in place by government of everywhere is people should stay at home. And when we talk about street kids, they don't have home. That is why we call them street kids. What do you think? I mean, how do you think this affects them, and what are the things your foundation put in place then to help these street kids as you have been doing before?
Yeah, during COVID-19 it was hard for them because they just have to hide away. Because even people that have homes, if they stray to the streets, they see police and all of that, harassing them and all that. So during COVID-19, that was the dilemma we had then. Because everybody said, okay, now you go home. But the streets, all of us that were living happened to be their own home. So they just, they found a place to just hide for the period. And in the evening, you see them out again. Because they live, they move, they do everything on the street. But what we were able to do is we applied for grants on their behalf, because we know that after COVID-19, after the lockdown rather, salaries were cut down and all that. So hardly were they getting anything on the street. So we partner with, we wrote proposal to a body we belong to, and they sponsor the project, 5-month project, of which we feed 100 children 4 times in a week for the next 5 months. The project is still ongoing, and it's really, really relieving them.
This is very, very amazing. This is amazing. We are rounding up now, and before I do that, I want you to tell me what you are doing is, very magnificent. I want to ask you, is government of the day, I mean, maybe federal government or state government, are they in any way, supporting this movement? If yes, I would like you to tell us in what way are they supporting you, and if otherwise, I want you to appeal to government on what exactly you want them to do for your NGO in supporting this movement.
Okay, to start with, I would say that the government of the day have been very, very helpful. Like our adopted community, Korafoju, during the lockdown, 25 bags of rice were given to the people. Then secondly, the government went there, they helped them to, they ran water into the community, did their pathway and all that. They've never experienced it that way before. When we got to the community December 2018, it was worse than Ajegunle. But if you go to the community now, you can drink water. Like things are better for them. But I would like the government to do more. Because yesterday we were on the streets and our people on the street were telling us of how government officials came and chased them off the road. They were running, It was brutal. It was so brutal. So before we can say, okay, we want to eradicate street begging in our society, we need to help these people find another means of living. We don't just say drop what is in your hand without saying take something else. You understand? So if then most of the time we say the children. But if the mothers are empowered, the children will be secured. So if the mothers can be empowered, we have a program we call Empower Me, where the mothers are exposed to different businesses and we give them capital. Then when you see a mother being settled, how will I put it, in one market, one skill or the other, it naturally affects the children. So I will want the government to stop using force to chase them off the streets. Let's devise another way. We are ready to work with the government on that. Let's devise another way of providing lasting solution to this thing. So I know some of them, give them millions of naira, they will still find their way to the streets to beg. But some are genuine beggars. That all they need is just, money to meet their daily needs. So if those ones see help, I'm so certain they are going to leave the street.
Wow, that's very good one. That's very good. I'm very much happy to heard from you that government are really supporting, and I believe after this program, they will still continue to support you. And this is like a tradition on this program. Having said all those things, I would like you to give us your sign out message to our viewers at home. I mean, a message from you to my viewers at home.
Okay. For the viewers at home that are also passionate about the street children, I would like to tell you that you don't need millions of naira to start. A child is all right. Starting with feeding a child, it will just be breakfast. It will just be a smile to a child. Just be that auntie, that uncle that brings happiness to this child. It doesn't start with money. It starts with a good heart, a heart filled with passion towards them. You don't need to register an NGO or build a home to start doing good in the society. And we can't keep pushing everything to the government. We are all the government. We are Nigerians. And our neighbor can't be languishing in poverty and you have a little means to help them and you are saying Buhari should come and do it. I believe it's our responsibility. And definitely when we do every act of goodness that we do has its own reward from God to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate you for, honoring our invitation on this program. And to my viewers at home, this is CBA TV. This is where we'll be drawing the curtain of this program. And I promise you another episode will be very, very fantastic. When something is good, we say fantastic. And till I come your way next time, I still remain your host, Balogun Arishekola Aziz. And you are watching CBA TV. And this is your program, Talk to CBA. Till we meet again, bye for now.